This is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude.
And I have to warn everyone, warning, what you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Sound good?
Alright, sounds good to me.
But my body is exhausted, my mind is exhausted. I feel like, oh man, after yesterday was great, by the way. Yesterday was a great session, a good marathon stream that I did, and people came out and were supportive. It was really good. So again, I want to just say to everybody, thanks for the money, dummies, because that's exactly what you fucking are, a bunch of fucking empty-headed idiots who paid me money to get absolutely nothing out of it. Thanks. Wow.
It was just like, my god, and I woke up this morning, I felt like I didn't get any sleep. I was like, man, I just feel so drained from basically working my ass off these past, few weeks. As you guys know, I've been trying to raise funds for my taxes and really been, going balls to the wall. With a game like Sekiro, that's a game that normally I probably would have lost my mind playing, but I've really dedicated myself to learning it and playing it and persevering because
it's been bringing people out to the streams, right? And I'll be very honest, it's been bringing contributions to the streams. So I'm like, fuck it. Even though this game's combat isn't my cup of tea, I will still tough through it and get through it and keep going because this is what people want, right? This kind of shit needs to come out. This kind of shit needs to be exposed for what it is. It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control.
Alright, so, I'm not doing a late stream tonight, guys.
Ultimate laziness.
Alright? And I apologize for that. I do. I know that maybe you guys are, we're anticipating a final session of Sekiro before we were headed out here. I get that. I totally get that. And, it is what it is. Sometimes things don't work out as planned. This is one of those cases where I'm just so exhausted that there's no way that I know I could do this, I could do this today. So that's the deal. All right. Thank you to the people who understand. Some people in the stream chat right now are saying completely reasonable. Enjoy, do what you need to do, and they understand. And there's other people who are being jerks. Oh, but you just play games for a living, and you only stream 9 hours a day, Phil. So this is ridiculous. Alright, whatever. Seriously, whatever. I know what's best for what's going on now, and I would much rather do things right and end up having a good trip than fucking everything up for the sake of doing one final stream because a few people are just basically just being very, 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 very entitled. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Oh my god.
Remember I told you about the false copyright strike I got against Toe Jam and Earl back in the groove? It's been completely cleared up and removed. It took one day for YouTube to actually review the situation and realize they had no idea what the fuck they were doing and reverse the copyright strike because it was completely bogus to begin with, and the channel is now back in good standing with no issues. So anyway, this is my final stream, alright, and I'll be back, next Sunday. So a week. I'm actually going to be gone for exactly 1 week. When I return next Sunday, the first thing I'm going to be doing, just because I know this is going to be worth doing, a special podcast at 10:15 a.m. Pacific time. That's going to be Sunday, April 14th, and the purpose of the podcast is to be a recap of my trip. I'm going to talk to you guys about everything that I did on this trip, what Kat and I did, what we did with my parents, and all of that, answering questions, and basically having a fun, interactive kind of session where we just talk about this visit, to get it out of the way, because I know people are going to have questions. Every time something like this happens, for the next, several days to weeks, I get questions. So, rather than have those questions bombard my streams for, weeks, just do a special podcast that answers everyone's questions, alright? And it'll be fun. It'll be a good way to get back into stuff, instead of immediately jumping, say, back right into Sekiro or whatever. Instead, it'll be a more relaxed atmosphere. It'll be more of me just talking on stream with you guys and kind of relaxing and going from there, alright? So, that's going to be my return on April 14th.
Oh my god. oh, I'm eating pasta. There's penne in my pasta. I don't care. I don't fucking care. In fact, I'm eating pasta today.
This stream right now is pretty much your absolute final chance to contribute to my tax effort. What I mean by that is tipping me today, whatever tips you guys, give me today on my birthday stream here, will go towards the taxes. And it's hopefully going to help because I have raised some money. It wasn't the full amount that I needed to be 100% sure that I'd be safe for this year. So we got to see what happens. I'm going to be talking to my tax guy about what I did raise in the past couple of weeks. But in the interim, today is the last chance if you absolutely want to contribute to help with these taxes via tipping me, okay? I appreciate that very much.
I e-bag, right? You're constantly asking your viewers and your fans for contribution. Phil's just one of the worst e-beggars. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life. And hilarious that I do this for a living, right? And I make way more money than Tevin, even though I have way less viewers. Let's think about that for a second.
Then we move on to Big Boy Abides, who cheered and said, "Good day, Phil. Do you find it funny you were recently proven right regarding college admissions? A major scandal broke a week ago about the corruption of Ivy League. It was one of your funnier vlogs topics in the past." Dude, people don't believe me about this shit. It's 100% now proven that the whole thing has been a scam to begin with. The kids that were getting into Ivy League college, half the time weren't even qualified to be there. They were getting in because their parents were paying their fucking way for it. There were entire systems put in place, pay to win, pay to get in. I mean, I've talked about this in the past, and people basically said, "Oh, Phil's a conspiracy theorist." I firsthand experienced it. Firsthand, I experienced this, when
I was in high school, had a bunch of extracurriculars under my belt. Volunteer work. I was in multiple clubs. I was the valedictorian of my high school, okay? But I applied to a few Ivy League colleges and everyone declined me. And when I went to my faculty advisor and asked why, because I said I put in the work, I did everything you asked me to do to get into these colleges. I've got the grades. I'm the valedictorian of the friggin' school. And they basically said, "Well, it's because you're white and you're not rich." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, it's because you're white and you're not rich. If you were white and rich and you didn't need financial aid, you probably would have gotten in. But you need financial aid to afford to go to these Ivy League schools. And even though you have all the qualifications of someone who should go to one, you can't get in. You're not in that elitist class, and that's just the harsh reality of life." And I was like, wow. Because there were actually 2 kids from my high school that got into Ivy League schools only off the basis, I hate to say it, of their race and the fact that they were on a sports team. That was it. That was their grades were nowhere near as good as mine. They didn't do anywhere as near extracurriculars as mine. But they got in. Here, let me take a sip.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, by the way, there were also a couple other kids in my school who were very smart, and one of them was salutatorian and rich and got into an Ivy League school. So I'm not even, I'm not going to go too crazy here about this. I'm just not. I'm seriously not. But the bottom line is the whole system of education in the United States when it comes to university
is a scam. It's a money-making scam. It always was.
And it's meant to, number one, make tons of money, and number two, keep this kind of elitist class at the top of the game. Because the bottom line is, it doesn't even matter if you're at the top or bottom of your class. If you go to an Ivy League school, you're going to get a good job out of school. Just because you went to an Ivy League school, you're now in this elitist class for the rest of your life where you're going to get employed high-paying jobs for the rest of your life. And it's terrible that now finally, after how many years of it being this way, the scandal finally breaks and it's revealed, oh yeah, it was like that all along. No shit, I knew that. Firsthand, I fucking knew this. That rich people were getting into these schools by paying tons of fucking money to do it. I knew that, but no one, whatever. I'm not going to go crazy here on the stream. I'm not. No point to even going crazy about it again. It is what it is. That was a long time ago. Doesn't really matter anymore, right? At least for me, so.
The salty tears. Salty tears. Oh, I gotta take a sip.
And Big Boy Abides cheered and said, "What is your best birthday memory?" Oh, jeez.
I went to a comic book store one day with my parents, and the Wolverine figure was there. And I turned to my mother and father, and I said, "Guys, listen. I want that action figure for my birthday. So, please, what I would ask you, I've never asked you to do this before. We know how rare that figure is. We know we've been to stores endlessly and we've never seen it in the flesh. It's finally here in front of our faces. Please buy the figure now. Hide it from me for whatever, for months until my birthday, and give it to me on my birthday. And so, like, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, they still didn't buy it, right? Week 4, we go back. It's gone. So my birthday came and passed, and guess what? My parents go, "We're very sorry, Philip, but we couldn't find the action figure." I said, "I told you to buy the figure. Why don't you listen to me?" Like, it was such a no-brainer. All they had to do was buy it then. They could have hidden it forever. I would have never bugged them for it till my birthday. I knew I was going to get it on my birthday. Because they didn't buy it, I didn't get it. I did eventually get it, but it was the second run. And, of course, now it's a year later. Do you really think that something I wanted a year ago is as valuable as, you know? But then I was already starting to move into other stuff. And, yes, I see someone asking in the chat, yes, my parents did have the money to buy it. They were just fucking stupid. Oh, because I didn't get a toy for Christmas, I'm some kind of like an entitled brat. Oh, give me a toy, give me a toy.
That's a tough one, and the reason I say that is, you know, ever since I became a working adult, basically my birthday has always just been kind of a normal day to me. I've never really had the opportunity to celebrate it and turn it into something special. When I was a kid, my parents sometimes would throw me a birthday party, and I think I remember a couple of them. I remember one was at my local arcade, and they had gotten pizza. It was like a pizza party at the arcade, and everyone was playing games at the arcade, and that was pretty fun. Shit, you know, I honestly, like I said, since my birthday has basically been just kind of a regular day for me for so long, I can't even remember specific birthday-related memories, you know, that are associated with it. What I would say is last year was pretty awesome because Kat made me that amazing chocolate and peanut butter cake that I ended up eating over the course of like 2.5 weeks because she made a giant cake for me, and obviously I wasn't going to eat a ton of it, so I had like a piece a day. That was really awesome. Decadent as hell. But, man, it was delicious. Like I said, this year, she didn't make me a cake because we're out of here tomorrow. What's the point of making a cake if you only have a day to eat it? So we actually got this little mini cake from a local grocery store. And we're just going to each have a piece of that tonight. So.
Oh boy, Emerald 6 gifted a sub to Snort Burnell. Gee, thanks, Emerald 6. That guy's such a nice guy. Okay. Dark Spirit Snort has invaded. Nice. It's obviously a troll. Snort. What an asshole. Alright, and for those who are complaining about post-nasal drip, perhaps you should suffer it. Because they're like, why is he snorting? Because I have post-nasal drip, and if I don't, I'm going to choke. It's the only way to clear out my sinuses. If you have an issue with it, you should probably talk to God and ask why he gave me post-nasal drip, because I didn't ask for it. I woke up this morning incredibly stuffed, congested in the head. I spent the greater part of the last hour and a half trying to clear out my sinuses. It's life. So either you deal with it or shut the fuck up. Because I've been doing this for over 10 years and had this issue the entire fucking time. And if you have a problem with it, you probably maybe should have realized I had it sometime in the last decade. What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar. Phil's a racist. Phil's a scammer. DSP's a pedophile. DSP is a thief. DSP is a greedy fuck.
This guy's a bitch.
I have a micro penis. Alright, I'm not dead, but I swear to God I wish I fucking was.